What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. We got some major news here. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen says the U.S. government could literally run out of money and not be able to pay Social Security checks and other government debts because we will be reaching the debt limit ceiling very soon. I will give you the details on this and let you hear exactly what she has said and what other people have said, like Senator Bernie Sanders and President Biden. Here in the past. I'll give you the details on this here and when this is coming here in details in this video. Also, major Medicare and Social Security changes, all this and more in this video. Major details here. I'm going to give you all of it and let you read it here for yourself. Yeah, some serious stuff here. So let's jump right in. Let me know if you can see and hear me. Let me know where you're tuning in from. You could let me know your city, state, or even your country, as we have people tuning in here from all around the globe. Yeah, don't forget to hit that like button for us. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on future videos. It's completely free to do so. Okay, take a look here. Major Medicare changes are happening for 2025. I did a previous video on some of them. I'll link you to that video here at the end, including, here are some more. Scoop, Medicare pilot aims for $2 generic drugs that are, check this out, this is some serious stuff here. The Biden administration will release a preliminary list of generic drugs that will be made available to Medicare recipients under a pilot program for no more than $2 out of pocket. The initiative, which covers common drugs for high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and other chronic conditions, aim to test whether offering low-cost generics can boost seniors' medication adherence and health outcomes while giving them the more certainty on out-of-pocket costs. The Biden administration is asking for feedbacks on its list of 101 generic drugs that could be covered by the pilot. The list will cover common prescriptions like penicillin, metformin, lithium, albuterol, asthma inhalers, which are, inhalers are expensive depending on the kind. Some can be very, very expensive. 35 of the drug treats blood pressure and other cardiovascular conditions. The drugs on the list would be subject to requirements like prior authorizations or quantity limits, but there would still be safety-related requirements. Medicare's Innovation Center assembled the list by looking at the clinical roles of different drugs, their costs by prescription drugs, plans, and how often they're used by Medicare enrollees. 95% of seniors who used their prescription drug coverage in 2023 filled a prescription for a drug on the sample list. Per the Center for Medicare and Medicaid, 95% of seniors used a prescription drug on this list in the previous year that they have data of 2023. And there is so many changes going on for Medicare here in 2025. That is why I've partnered with Chapter Medicare. Chapter is the only free, unbiased Medicare advisor that can see across all plans and is nationwide and can find seniors the right personalized coverage. And with all these changes, you really need to know about this. In fact, a lot of seniors are actually losing coverage to their doctors because of all of the Medicare changes going on in 2025. I've learned that most seniors are on the wrong Medicare or Medicare Advantage plans, which is scary, and this impacts their pocketbooks or your health, and you need to be on the right plan, which is pretty serious. So call the phone number on the screen, talk to a chapter representative for Medicare, which is completely free to do so, or click the link down below in the pinned comment of this video, which is completely free to do so, and you'll be able to get the Medicare advice that you or your family members need. Okay, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen tells Congress the U.S. could hit its debt limit in mid-January. Poor Janet Yellen has been dealing with this for so many years. And unfortunately, this is something that the U.S. has to deal with. In fact, Trump, who had previously used the debt limit to his advantage, is now calling to get rid of the debt limit because, well, it's now on his watch. Trump said getting rid of the debt ceiling entirely would be the smartest thing Congress could do. I would support that entirely. And now this is bad news for him because, well, now he is going to be the president, and having the U.S. government default on Trump's watch, as when Trump gets sworn in, would be absolutely catastrophic for the U.S. government or the president or whoever it is. This would mean the U.S. government would literally run out of money, and they would have no money because Congress has to approve new money, the new raising of the debt ceiling. In fact, Janet Yellen says the Treasury Department will need to take extraordinary measures to avoid the debt ceiling in January. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said that her agency, the Treasury, will need to start taking extraordinary measures to be able to pay the U.S. government's bills, or special accounting maneuvers intended to prevent the nation from hitting the debt ceiling as of January 14th in a letter sent to congressional leaders on Friday. Treasury expects to hit the statutory debt ceiling between January 14th and January 23rd. So as early as January 14th, the U.S. government could run out of money, and this could mean no money at all to pay anything at all, at which point measures would be used to prevent the government from breaching the nation's debt ceiling, which has been suspended until January 1st, 2025. Quote, the department has in the past deployed what is known as extraordinary measures or accounting maneuvers to keep government operating. But once those measures run out, the government risks defaulting on its debt unless lawmakers and the president agree to lift the limit on the U.S. government's ability to borrow. The news comes after President Joe Biden signed a bill into law that averted about a week or two ago that the government shutdown did not include President-elect Trump's core debt to raise or suspend the nation's debt limit, but was approved by Congress only after a fierce internal debate among Republicans over how to handle Trump's demand to raise the debt limit or actually get rid of it. Anything else is a betrayal of our country, Trump said. Now, what happens to the Social Security payments if the U.S. breaches the debt ceiling? The U.S. has never had this happen. This is not the same thing as a government default. Janet Yellen said that this would lead to an economic and financial catastrophe. There are no precedents that offer a guide to how the situation could play out. It's like the U.S. government's checking account going blank, having no money in it. If the U.S. defaults, it is unlikely that the federal government would be able to issue payments to millions of Americans, including our military families and seniors who rely on Social Security. Quote, Janet Yellen has said previously. This is an exact quote from Janet Yellen. In fact, Senator Bernie Sanders and President Biden had said previously in the past when we were flirting with the past government default. So there are direct quotes. You can read it. Honestly, we need to get rid of the debt ceiling. It's something I've said before because almost everything has to be approved by Congress in the first place, and then they have this over and top of above it, which just makes it a nightmare for Americans. Let me know your thoughts. Now, Congress doesn't come into session until January 3rd. With January 3rd, they're going to have so much to start with. Do they start with all these Medicare changes, Social Security changes, debt limit changes, government shutdown changes? They're going to be up to their ears in absolute nightmare. They have new president coming in, all these new congressmen coming in, and they're going to be literally like chickens running loose with everything changing and all the stuff they have to work with. They were able to push through that new Social Security bill, which provided the benefits to millions of Americans, which they actually earned and paid into, and they will now get their full Social Security benefits instead of getting half of what they paid into. But how many different things do they need to vote on now that they have to work into, which it's just now, they're just coming in to the new Congress here. So I will keep you up to date here with everything going on here. on once we get forward here. I'm on a limited schedule here going into the new year, taking a few days off, but then I will be back here to full schedule here on a daily basis. So make sure you subscribe, click the bell icon so you get notifications when we go live with new videos. Don't forget to like this video, share this video with anybody that needs to hear this information, and I will keep you up to date. Click this video here to see other Medicare changes going into effect in 2025. Or click here to see $1,400 stimulus checks, holiday stimulus checks going out to millions of Americans. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.